Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Muscle Whisperer with me, Leora Sharp.
And me, Darien Pritchard.
In this video and the next one, we'll be giving you some important principles about using your body to support the work of your hands, arms, or elbows. Let's jump in.
In this video, we're focusing on how to massage with your whole body by positioning and moving your body for the power and the fluidity of your massage strokes.
Standing still and just relying on our shoulder muscles is hard work and will create fatigue in our bodies. And over time, it can create strain, in particular the rotator cuff area and the deltoid.
Today, we'll look at two main principles for using your body effectively to support the work of your hands or to support the work of your forearm and your elbow if you're working hands-free and saving your hands.
We can only touch the tip of the iceberg today with introducing you to these principles. So please do enjoy incorporating these principles into your massage. Do remember to practice on friends and colleagues first before you take it to your clients. And of course, it's always a good idea to get some coaching from experienced trainers.
The two principles we're going to focus on in this video, the first is leaning to get your pressure, using your body weight to deliver power to your arms rather than either standing still or hunching over and just relying on pushing with your arms. The second principle is getting your body lined up behind your hands so that you can deliver power from your body through your hands or your forearm or elbows if you're using them, rather than your body being turned away and again just having to rely on the power of your shoulder muscles. And in the next video, we'll look at swaying for sliding strokes, swaying forward and back to give you even pressure and control throughout those sliding strokes.
If you need to push a large, heavy object, you'll instinctively lean your whole body weight and get your whole body weight behind it, rather than just standing still and just pushing with your arms. When we're massaging, leaning forward enables us to do the same. We can use our body weight to deliver into our hands, forearms, and elbows. So let's see how this looks in action.
As Leora leans in, you'll see that there's a line through her trunk and her back leg. She's not bending at the hips, which would strain her lower back, but she's moving her whole body and leaning in as a unit. That's the case whether she's applying stationary pressure or adding pressure into sliding strokes, whether she's using her hands or using her forearms. And she regulates the pressure by how much she leans. So if she wants to put a lot more pressure on, she leans more. If the pressure needs to be less, she doesn't lean as much, but she can still move when it's appropriate, delivering pressure by leaning more or easing it off by leaning less. And you can see that Leora is not working hard to do this. She's getting pressure by using her body, not working hard in her body, so it's easier and it's more fluid because it's coming from the whole of her body. Now, some of the things that people commonly do that interfere with this is to stiffen their knees. And you see that gives stiffness to Leora's movement. It's not as fluid and she's working harder in her body. So just soften your knees again, Leora. What's the difference in feeling between doing those two for you?
As soon as I started working too hard and too upright, the first thing I noticed was that I got this uncomfortable bend, almost 90-degree angle, which is not great for our wrists at all. And I felt when I worked with my legs straight that I was going to start to get strain at the back of my knees. I felt tension go into my legs straight away, and I felt it go into the top of my back as I kind of was working with stiff shoulders. So it just all became very uncomfortable. And I bet my table doesn't like receiving a massage with my body when it's this stiff.
No, you've got to be nice to your massage tables. They work much, and they don't get much massage in return, so do it nicely. And again, one other common habit that people have that interfere with this process is to tense their shoulders, to tighten up, and to work too hard.
I feel that into my lats.
Okay, so let's not do that, and let's go back to giving our table a nice massage. And a third thing that people do sometimes, which also interferes, particularly when you're applying pressure, there's a great temptation to hold your breath, to breathe in forcefully and hold your breath at the point of applying pressure. And unfortunately, that means that you're likely to tense up in your body. So it's more useful to just let a breath out easily at that moment so that you stay relaxed in your body and lean in as you apply the pressure. So you've still got an alertness through your body, but you're not tensing up to do that. If you're not tensing up, it's easier for your hands to feel responses in the client's tissues, or you feel those through your forearms if you're using your forearms, or indeed your elbows.
When I hold my breath, when I lean in without an exhale, so inhale, I feel like there's nowhere to go with this. And as soon as I incorporate the exhale, making sure that I don't breathe on my client, then there's a lot more softness all the way through my body, especially in my chest. And I feel like I can deliver a different softness in the massage as well. Never mind in my own body. I'll be able to feel the client's tissues a lot more as well if I exhale and lean.
Soft, but still strong when appropriate. So you're being skillful, you're sensitive because you're sensing and no doubt adapting to the client's response, but you can be strong when it's appropriate, but not rigid in your delivery. There's one more thing to be aware of as well. If you're trying to deliver more pressure than you comfortably can by using your body weight, if you're trying to do more than that, you'll be tensing in your body. And again, you'll start to wear yourself out, to strain. So it's important that you don't do that. Your limit of what pressure you can deliver is your body weight. So refer on clients that want more pressure than you can comfortably deliver, because otherwise over time, you'll start to burn out your body.
So with that in mind, if you look at Darien's build compared to mine, Darien is a lot bigger build, which means only with a tiny bit of lean, he can add a lot of pressure. And I can't add as much pressure in my maximum lean than he would be able to.
And I've got limits too. I live and work in Cardiff. I would burn myself out on the rugby boys. There's people that are bigger, stronger, and younger than me that can do that. So there's limits, whatever you build.
When we're leaning in rather than pushing, there's a lot less effort on our part and a lot more body weight that gets delivered. So it's easy to apply more pressure and not realize that we're doing it. It's therefore really imperative to work with skillful sensitivity, as Darien mentioned, and definitely get feedback from your clients to check that the pressure is appropriate in any given moment.
When you're doing any pressure in massage, you want to get your body behind what you're doing with your hands or your forearm if you're working with your forearms. So you need to reposition your body. An image is that you've got spotlights coming forward from your hips, that your shoulders are roughly lined up with your hips so you're not twisted in your body or twisted in your arms. So if I'm focusing pressure down here, of course with the client will be higher, but just so you can see what I'm doing with my hips. If I'm focusing pressure down here, I face in this direction so that my hips are facing towards my hands. So the power comes from moving my lower body, leaning in with my upper body. If I'm coming at the same direction, but from the other angle, then I need to turn. What I don't want to be is turned that way and trying to do that way. You can see my body's twisted, it's going to strain in my back, and I'm not getting power from my lower body to my upper body.
So that's it for part one of our body use tips, in which we discussed leaning forward for pressure and getting your hands behind your body.
So we hope you find these useful in practicing with friends and colleagues and then taking into your massage studio. And we look forward to seeing you in part 2, the next video, where we'll focus on swaying your body to get movement in sliding strokes. Bye for now.
We hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.